LaSalle and Villanova have punctuated the 80s with a City Series madness all their own.
Here's the shot. It is good. Oh, brother.
The decade began with a team slugging it out through 3 overtimes. The Explorers would get the decision.
It's a LaSalle win.
The following year, a new Wildcat class would help deliver a prolific palestra pounding. 4 years later, as seniors, a spectrum destruction en route to a national title. But a new era of LaSalle dominance, marked by a train's arrival and a seam's departure. And last year, another overtime thriller with an unexpected hero.
Here's Johnson on the breakaway.
The Explorers are nationally ranked, but still measuring success against Villanova.
If we can knock them off or beat them here in front of a 300 crowd, I think it'd be a great win for us.
A decade of Big Five excellence comes to a close tonight. Prism Sports presents Big Five City Series basketball. Tonight, live from a sold-out Civic Center, the Villanova Wildcats and the LaSalle Explorers. And welcome, everyone. Some 9,300 plus will be on hand tonight, along with Ed Stefanski. I'm Mark Sumoff. LaSalle coming in unbeaten at 4-0. Villanova at 6-3, two very good teams, but with contrasting styles.
Well, Villanova likes to control the tempo. They like to keep it under 69 points. Speedy Morris and the LaSalle Explorers want to run and gun. They shoot over 23 threes, so something has to give. And normally the team that controls the tempo can do it. I think you'll see a low-scoring game tonight.
Rolly Massimino has always liked to hammer it inside, get the good shot. And the man who can do it is a senior, 7'3", Tom Greis, and also another fellow who supplies some muscle is Rodney Taylor. He's had some injury problems, though, a bad knee.
Yeah, well, Tom Greis is the big guy inside. A little concerned tonight with LaSalle. They'll pick up the guards, try to make them pick the ball up at half court. That may bring Greis away from the basket, so that could hurt his offense. He's got to get in the flow. Rodney Taylor always has big games against LaSalle because he's just a brute. He's going to play physical, forget the finesse play, so he could be dominant inside on the boards.
The LaSalle guard play has been excellent in the first 4 games. Doug Overton and Randy Woods averaging 5 steals between them. Jack Hurd, however, struggling just a bit at the small forward spot.
Well, Overton could arguably be the best player in the Big Five at his guard position. He will score points and he will handle against the pressure of Villanova. Jackie Hurd has not been in the flow of the game. He's got to shoot the basketball to get in the flow.
Is tempo the key tonight?
Oh, tempo is definitely the word, and Rolly Massimino knows it.
Stay with us, won't you? The master of tempo against Speedy Morris. It's Villanova and LaSalle when we come back to a sold-out Civic Center right after this. Big Five basketball on Prism is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This bud's for you.
Yeah, I really had a great time tonight.
Oh, good.
It's a great party, great fun.
Oh, and the stars are beautiful tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, they light up the sky.
Spend the evening of December 30th gazing at stars. Anita Baker, Gregory Peck, Frank Sinatra, and many others, as Budweiser brings you the 10th consecutive Lou Rawls Parade of Stars to benefit the United Negro College Fund.
We are back live at the Civic Center, some 9,300, a complete sellout, as the late Dave Zinkoff used to say. Of course, he said it many times here at Convention Hall. The 76ers used to play here. LaSalle played here during their heydays in the 50s. And tonight, the Explorers return here in the 1989-90 before their first sellout crowd, taking on Villanova. The Explorers nationally ranked, and we'll tell you about that. But first, let's go to John McAdams for tonight's starting lineup.
This evening, LaSalle University presents a Philadelphia Big Five City Series game featuring the Villanova University Wildcats and the LaSalle University Explorers. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for Villanova. At a forward position, a senior, 6 feet, 6 inches tall, from Columbia, South Carolina, number 35, Rodney Taylor. At the other forward, a freshman, 6 feet, 7 inches tall, from Clifton, Virginia, number 44, Aaron Bain. At the center spot, a senior, 7 feet, 3 inches tall, from Huntington, New York, number 33, Tom Greis. At the guards, a sophomore, 5 feet 11 inches tall from Houston, Texas, number 15, Chris Walker. And at the other guard, a sophomore, 6 feet 6 inches tall from Rochester, New York, number 24, Greg Woodard. The head coach of the Villanova University Wildcats in his 17th season is Rolly Massimino. And for the LaSalle University Explorers, at a forward position, a senior, 6 feet 7 inches tall from Philadelphia, number 22, Lionel Simmons. At the other forward, a sophomore, 6 feet 6 inches tall from Lidditz, Pennsylvania, number 25, Jack Bird. At the center spot, a sophomore, 6 feet 9 inches tall from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, number 44, Milko Lieverst. At the guards, a junior, 6 feet 3 inches tall from Philadelphia, number 11, Doug Overton. At the other guard, a sophomore, 6 feet tall from Philadelphia, number 14, Randy Woods. The head coach of LaSalle University Explorers in his 4th season is Bill Speedy Morris. The officials for this evening's game with the ball is Larry Lembo, along with Jody Sylvester and Mickey Crowley.
LaSalle ranked as high as number 23 in USA Today. In the AP, they are just out of the top 25, number 26 behind Michigan State. The Sporting News has them ranked as high as 12. Let's talk again about tempo and elaborate on that a little bit. How will Rolly Massimino control the tempo of a game where a team is averaging 9 steals and they certainly promise to put a lot of defensive pressure on them?
Well, the first key is not to turn the ball over. So you'll see LaSalle trying to come out and pressure Villanova. I'm sure they worked on it to get the ball past half court. One thing that man has worked on extremely hard this week is getting back on defense. If his team shoots and misses, they have been working all week getting back. They do not want LaSalle to get off in a running match and to get off the 3. So look for Villanova to start out in a lot of man-to-man. So the Woods, the Overtons, the Hurd, the Lionel Simmons. There's 4 guys, as you see the lineups there, that can shoot the 3 for LaSalle.
And word has it that LaSalle will start in the man-to-man as well, and why not with those quick guards, especially number 11 in Doug Overton and number 14 Randy Woods.
It's a real nice early season matchup. I mean, both teams, you'd say Villanova's the underdog, but this is going to be a good matchup.
And how about this? The series, which began back in the 30s, is tied at 21, and the teams are 5-5 in the 80s. That includes a first-round NIT victory for LaSalle at DuPont Pavilion. We are underway, and LaSalle controls into the capable hands of Doug Overton.
See the man-to-man early. Now, Taylor's got Lionel Simmons. It's a tough matchup for Taylor if Lionel Simmons makes good cuts and uses quickness.
And they don't come out at all to take care of Milko Lieverst. Here's Lieverst in the lane. Good, and a blocking foul. Count the basket.
Well, right away, they double team down low. Let's see the play when we get the ball down the Hurd. They get it on the baseline. You see Milko Lieverst, 44. He makes the cut, but there's Greis, leaves him wide open. He's not a real good scorer, but he's going to make the layups, and there's the call by Jody Sylvester.
Lieverst, the sophomore, 6'9", 220 pounds, out of Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Can't get the three-point play, but the Explorers draw the first deuce. Tom Greis, the senior. Aaron Bain, the freshman. Bain can do a lot. He can shoot it. He can use both hands. He can slash. He's a freshman who averaged double figures in his first 7 games. Simmons goes to work on Taylor.
Oh, that's real nice. Lionel Simmons showed Taylor the ball a little bit, got him off his feet, went right over it. 4-2 early.
A historic basket for Lionel Simmons, and we'll discuss it at our next break. This is Woodard, the sophomore, who's really come on nicely after struggling last year as a freshman. He has it now. Doug Overton right on him.
Bain is trying to post up Jackie Hurd inside. Bain wants the basketball.
Chris Walker, the sophomore point guard against Randy Woods. Now Taylor outside with Lieverst. Good pull by Taylor. The number 1 rebounder on the Wildcats. And there's the number 1 rebounder for LaSalle, Lionel Simmons, to get the carom. They'll give him that one from 3, and quickly Taylor's right on him. Woods from 3. Good offensive rebound by Lieverst, who's the leading offensive rebounder on this team.
You might have got away with a little push there. to get the rebound. But both teams showing to mirror each other on the defense. Man-to-man, there's an early steal by Walker.
LaSalle doing very well in the turnover department this year, only averaging 11 as a team, and Walker right there picks the pocket of Overton. 2 minutes gone, first half. A whistle away from the ball with Aaron Bain and Jack Hurd posting down low, a matchup that you had spotted in the previous possession, and a foul's going to be called on Hurd.
Yeah, what Villanova looks like they're going to do early with Hurd covering Aaron Bain, they're going to try to take Aaron Bain the box and post. Right there, Jackie Hurd had his hands up, but he was bodying him. They got him with the foul.
Walker for the trailer. Greis, he couldn't catch it. Woodard, and that's his shot. The left-handed shot, uses glass and gets his first 2 of the night. We're tied at 4.
And that's a lot more confident Greg Woodard. I mean, he just took one hard power dribble, used the glass. Last year, he was struggling with his offense. His offense is coming around now. His whole game's there.
Woodard shot 27% from the field last year. There's Woods just inside three-point territory for a deuce. And LaSalle up 2.
Well, in a lot of Big 5 games, we see both teams coming out, knocking the ball off their feet and throwing it off their head. This game, they're taking care of the basketball and very good offensively so far.
Bain with Greis down low on Levers. First shot of the game for Greis, and it's good. Tom Greis really has to get on track. That is a very tough matchup for Speedy Morris and LaSalle.
And Milko Levers is going to try to play behind Greis early, but if Greis gets the ball that close to the basket, he's a major factor. Villanova, first time down, has switched to a 2-3 zone, and Hurd's going to fire.
For 3, and it's good. Jackie Hurd, who has been struggling since being converted into a small forward, averaging 7 a game compared to 12 last year, but he cans the 3.
You know, Riley Massimino likes to change up defense, but I don't know if you can play much zone against LaSalle. They get an open shot, they're firing away. You got to play that man-to-man and be up in their face.
Woodard screen from Greis. Bain underneath for Walker. And a grabbing foul is going to be called on Lionel Simmons. That is his first, team second.
Right, Riley Massimino's team, very good offensively, continuity. They turned it over a couple times, so they try to get what they want. LaSalle trying to overplay there, but it was a good move to get the ball inside to Taylor. Now watch out of bounds here, Mark. A lot of times they like to score off the out of bounds play. They'll try to get an offensive play right away.
Number 14 is Lance Miller, a freshman, in for the freshman Aaron Bain. This is a very deep Villanova team. Unfortunately for the Wildcats there, they turned it over. They could play as many as 10 players, Eddie. The only thing is 8 of those 10 are either freshmen or sophomores. Explorers up 3 with the ball. Villanova still going man-to-man. Levers looking backdoor for Woods, who then decided to cut back toward the ring, to the wing, and the turnover on LaSalle.
And what Randy Woods is, Speedy Morris right there saying to Randy Woods, you got to cut through. If you're going to can't fake, Milko Levers made the pass. You got to go through.
Villanova down 3 with the ball. Taylor might have gotten away with a travel. No, he didn't. He did travel. Levers, they're leaving him alone.
That was good rotation by Milko Levers, but again, I'm sure Villanova will give him that 16, 15-footer all night long.
Walker leaves Woods in the backcourt, gives them a numbers advantage here, and Miller, on his way to the hoop, commits the offensive foul. Lance Miller, the freshman, very talented freshman. In fact, he is the rookie of the week in the Big East after performing well against Drexel, but he's called for the offensive foul.
That's Lance Miller's type of game. He'd rather make that slashing drive to the basket there. He just over-penetrated a little bit. And
Overton is fouled by Walker, who disagrees. Jody Sylvester with a call. Chris Walker handed the reins now that Kenny Wilson has left, a sophomore out of Houston.
Puts a lot of defensive pressure on Villanova when they're in a man-to-man or a zone, because as we said, 4 of the 5 guys are offensive players, and they like to go one-on-one, and in a man-to-man, Overton is just having a terrific season so far, and he just broke them down one-on-one, and Walker had a foul.
Villanova believes Overton is the man to stop tonight, which is unusual for a coach to say, talking about a team with Lionel Simmons on.
Well, again, I think Overton's having the best season of any guard in the Big 5 early in this year.
Gets 2 and the largest lead of the game at 5, 11-6. And there's the trapping pressure that we talked about. Jack Hurd is called for fouling Aaron Bain.
And there's Jack Hurd getting in foul trouble early again. Every game this year he's gotten early foul trouble. Speedy Morris's field, that's one of the reasons he hasn't gotten the flow of the game.
And Speedy does not have the luxury that Rolly Massimino does, able to go 9-10 deep. He brings his 6th man, Mr. Instant Offense, off the bench, and Bobby Johnson.
It won't take long for Bobby Johnson to get a shot up, believe me, when he gets that ball in his hands.
He's got to shoot. He's struggling this year, only shooting 29% from the field. Turnover, Lever saves it in for Woods. Numbers advantage, though, for Villanova. But Woods has the light.
It's a big job for Chris Walker to bring the ball up all night against Randy Woods. He puts a lot of man-to-man pressure on you.
Greis again against Lever, scored on his first possession and now scores on his second.
That's a real good move by Tom Greis. A little bit out of his range, makes a drop step and power dribble to the hole and gets within range.
It seems almost like Greis could do whatever he wants against Lever. Of course, he does have, what, a 5-6 inch height advantage.
The long rebounds. When you shoot the threes, you're going to get long rebounds.
And Simmons backs Taylor away and cans the 2 as Taylor hits the floor.
Lionel Simmons, the last time we had him on Prism, struggled offensively against Penn. Early he has 4, but he looks real smooth. He's squaring up on his shot.
Again, Lionel has made history tonight with his first 2, and we'll tell you about that at our first stoppage of play. 13-8 LaSalle, Villanova basketball. And Chris Walker's called for traveling. Turnover number 3 in this game. And Mark Dowdell, who's had some injury problems. He's wearing number 32, a sophomore forward out of Howell, New Jersey, coming into the game.
Yeah, Mark has had an ankle problem. Let's see how he goes. Now, he better get his ankles together, because is he covering Lionel Simmons? He better be ready to play this man.
He has him right now in the man-to-man. There's Lionel, who goes right up on him. Leverst is hacked as he went up for the offensive rebound. Milko Leverst has done wonders off the offensive glass this year for the Explorers.
Well, that's Tom Greis' fault, because the ball went up. Watch, he doesn't block out. Tom Greis of Villanova. See the 33 in the middle? He's not looking for his man. He's too far underneath the basket. There comes Milko Leverst right in, and Lance Miller has to foul. When the shot goes up, I don't care if he's 7'3", he's got to find his man and block out a little bit and not get under the basket.
Team now foul number 4 on Villanova. And Overton took a walk. Third turnover of the game for LaSalle. Nova down 5 with the ball. We've played 6 minutes before a sellout here at the Philadelphia Civic Center. Greis, who's really had his way, the foul also on Leverst. But Tom Greis has really come to play here in the early going.
Well, again, he's got very good hands, Tom Greis. He comes out of his range just a little bit, but he's got good shooting range. He'll come in. You'll see the pass there from Walker, but real nice hands to grab it. That's a bad foul by Milko Leverst. When Greis has the ball, you can't get that close to him and foul him, especially not going to block the shot.
Greis coming off of a nice performance against Drexel, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 6 blocks. And with 13 minutes and 50 seconds to go, we have a timeout. So Tom Greis leading the attack for Villanova. And they trail by 2. We'll be back.
Here's the last stop on our tour. The Fountain of Youth.
This one's on me.
How about an ice cold bud, young man?
I love this job.
It's the only show of its kind. A weekly update on the latest news from around the National Hockey League. It's Power Stick Hockey Week, hosted by Mike Emmer. It's the big plays, the players making news, and all the news from around the NHL. A week's worth packed into 30 minutes of excitement. Join us this week for the latest edition of the Power Stick Hockey Week, a show you can't get anywhere else. Get it only on Prism.
Eddie, some history made when Lionel Simmons scored his first deuce of the night.
Well, he passes Tom Gola as the second leading scorer in LaSalle history as he breaks down one-on-one. Taylor with a nice ball fake. And he's got one more man to go after, and that was a great player in Michael Brooks.
Coming into tonight, 159 points behind Brooks. And again, if he averages his career average from now till the middle of January, that's when he'll pass him. Probably here at home at the Civic Center. He could become the first player in NCAA history to have 3,000 total career points and 1,500 rebounds, but he would really have to score and rebound a lot, and this is senior season. Well, the Explorer lead now cut to 2. And Villanova here zoning up.
They show a 2-3 zone. They brought Chris Walker all the way up to show a 1 front, but now it's a 2-3, straight 2-3.
Simmons working on Dowdell. .12 on the shot clock. And they leave Overton open. And the rebound by Simmons. And we have a turnover. Give it over to Villanova.
But every shot that goes up, that guy right there, Lionel Simmons, gets his hands on every one. He's so quick to the basketball.
So the Wildcats achieved something there, and that they got LaSalle to use up a lot of the clock and again slow the tempo.
Right, they want the game again under 70 points if they could.
Bain is open. Simmons alone for the Carom. Catch back defensively. Simmons walked as he tried to fake the three-pointer, and again another turnover for the Explorers.
But Villanova did an excellent job getting back. Court balance. They had 5 Villanova defenders back and 3 LaSalle people trying to break. LaSalle is only 1 for 5 on 3-point shots here in the first 7 minutes of the contest.
And that's a team that is shooting 35% going in. In fact, they are averaging 23 three-pointers per game.
They're on that pace.
It's funny, too, because Speedy Morris says he doesn't like the rule, but he'd be dumb if he didn't take advantage of it. Simmons with another rebound. And he's adding to that total tonight. Already he has 4. Cats back to the man-to-man as Overton handles against Walker. Fronting defense, Taylor. Simmons, nice look inside Johnson.
Oh, real nice passes. He had the shot, Lionel Simmons, but he gave the better shot up to his teammate, the layup by Bobby Johnson.
And the Explorers back up by 4. 8 minutes gone, first half. Cross court, Walker for Woodard. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by Woodard. It'll be LaSalle basketball.
That was not a real good pass. Chris Walker cross court, and Overton made him pay for it.
Levers, and again you see way outside. Villanova doesn't even bother with him. Simmons, good look inside for Levers. And we will keep it here, says Larry Limbo.
See, again, Villanova is so aware of Lionel Simmons. He makes such good cuts. He made a cut within his shooting range. They try to collapse. Lionel Simmons can pass the basketball when people are open.
Tom Greis has come back into the game. The foul, by the way, was on Greg Woodard. And for Woodard, that is his first. 5 as a team on the Wildcats.
He hasn't been in this long without a shot. Okay.
Johnson for 3. Lieberst, another offensive rebound. Good look inside for Overton. Yes!
Nice pass, but great hands by Doug Overton to catch it. It was down by his feet, a bounce pass, but picks it up and gets the bucket.
LaSalle by 6. 11.5 to go first half as Woods rides Walker. Johnson on Bain. Another steal. Simmons on Taylor. And there's Bain with the air ball. And a rare fast break for Villanova. Woodard with Taylor, shovels it, and Johnson there to steal. Here comes Overton back, and we have a whistle, and a backcourt foul is going to be called against Villanova's Tom Greis.
I think he's got an intentional foul, too. I think Mickey Crowley has an intentional foul by Greis. Yeah, the elbow.
You are correct.
I don't know if we have it, but I guess he's a little upset.
The foul on Greis is his first and the 6th on the team, so 1-1 from here on in for the Explorers.
Now here's the steal. The break doesn't work. Now Lionel Simmons, a little bit of a block. I don't know how. He did try to foul, but that wasn't real malicious or intentional.
Bobby Johnson at the line. The Explorers will get the ball back here. Johnson, an excellent foul shooter at 90% going in. And Rowley wants to talk it over. His team had gotten to within 2. The Explorers have reeled off 6 straight. And with 11 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first half, it's LaSalle with their largest lead of the first half.
The Cadillac DeVille, please.
In weather like this, you'll be happy to know the Cadillac DeVille has front-wheel drive, because that gives you better traction in the snow.
My town car, please.
On the other hand, Lincoln Town Car has never had front-wheel drive, and that could leave you out in the cold. With front-wheel drive and V8 power, you'll enjoy Cadillac style in any weather. So now is the perfect time to test drive a new DeVille or Fleetwood at your Cadillac Super Network dealer.
The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours a safe and happy holiday season. And please remember, know when to say when.
There's a lot more Big 5 action to come, so open a cold Budweiser and get ready for that clean, crisp taste that only comes from Beechwood Aging. Hey, this Bud's for you.
Villanova has to block out and find their man because LaSalle loves to shoot the threes. They're too far underneath the basket. You see number 35, Rodney Taylor, 33, Greis. They're underneath the basket. The long rebound on the 3. Milko Levers is here, and he finds a nice bounce pass to Overton. Overton grabs it and puts it back in. But they got to check out. They're going to the basket, and they're getting caught underneath, and the long rebound's killing them.
Doug Overton, the junior, who made the switch from the off guard to the point last year as a sophomore. 10th in the nation last year in assists. Ron Holland has checked into the game. Holland, wearing number 51. He has it now and does not take long. He's not a bad jump shooter. He's a transfer out of St. Bonnie's. St. Bonaventure, 6'8", 240.
That was a little bit of nerves. First big game as a LaSalle Explorer in a Big 5 contest, sold out. He just fired.
Woodard, and over to help out is Simmons. Could be Simmons, could be Johnson here.
Ron Holland's going to be a nice player for LaSalle and Speedy Marsh. He's got very good hands. He's got good offensive skills, but better inside than he is from the outside.
Well, it's Overton on the foul, and it is in the act of shooting. 15th foul on LaSalle, and only the first personal on Doug Overton and Greg Woodard to the line. Did you hear that before? Greg Woodard shot 27% from the field last year, and he has really come back nicely here in his sophomore
He
session.
struggled, and a freshman. You can't ask too much from a freshman. The kid's a real nice player, but you have to be almost terrific player coming in to be a player, an impact player as a freshman.
Another substitution. Calvin Bird coming into the game, a freshman swingman, 6'6", 200 pounds, out of Hayward, California. They liken him to Gary Massey, only a better athlete, if you could believe it or not, and better offensively.
Raleigh Massimino staying in that man-to-man. I think he has to because of the outside shooting of the LaSalle Explorers.
And it's out of bounds off of Overton.
Yeah, Ron Holland's struggling right now. I mean, he's just nervous. The kid's got to get in. He's going to be a good player. He's just got to relax a little bit.
19-13, LaSalle by 6, approaching the halfway point. Woodard for 3. He is the leading three-point shooter for Villanova, shooting 13 for 26, going in right at 50%.
But he had so much confidence coming right off the screen and taking the shot. And he wants to play defense now.
Overton for 3.
It's heating up.
Yep.
And this is not a real good score with 22 points in the first 10 minutes for LaSalle. It's a game that I think Raleigh would like to control a little bit closer if he can.
Speedy said, though, he can play either tempo, but you think he'd prefer the up-tempo.
Oh, I definitely think he does, and I agree he can play either.
Miller wins the battle with Woods. Greis for the jumper. And it's out of bounds, last touch by Villanova. The problem with Greis taking the jumper is he's not in rebounding position. And they reached it late to Villanova, and it was out of bounds, last touched by the Wildcats. Chris Walker back into the game for Villanova, taking the place of David Miller. Overton open. Second straight three-pointer for Doug Overton.
And Rowley Massimito's not happy at all. He wanted a walk first on Lionel Simmons. He doesn't get it, and there's a three knocked down by Doug Overton, a 9-point advantage for the LaSalle Explorers.
That is the largest lead of the game with 9 minutes to go first half.
Look at Randy Woods put the pressure.
Overton there to help. Woodard is open. That's dangerous.
Yeah. The kid's got the stroke now. They got to know where Greg Woodard is on the course. I was going to say golf course. Too much golfing.
In this weather? Less than 9 to play first half. LaSalle up 7 with the ball. Cats continue with a man-to-man. Woods for 3, and that's almost a pro three-pointer as he was way back. Simmons with a big offensive pull. Johnson there to help out, and a fresh 45 for the Explorers.
That kills you if you're Villanova. The long three-pointer again. Lionel Simmons just quicker to the basketball.
Johnson for 3. Woodard weak side. Greis hits the deck and a foul on Bron Holland underneath.
Bobby Johnson just can't get the three-pointer to go down at all. Shooting 25% from the 3, 29 from two-point range. Last year we called him instant offense. LaSalle needs him to make a couple shots.
And Holland, after his first taste of LaSalle basketball, goes out to be replaced by the starting centerman in Milko Lieberst. Also coming back for Villanova is Mark Dowdell. He takes the place of Calvin Bird. Well, we said 10 deep for the Wildcats, and they have done just that already. Bain with Johnson right on him. Dowdell looking for Greis. Another steal for Overton, averaging 2.5 a game. Trailer Simmons. And Dowdell there with a rebound as Lionel went too hard off the glass. Bain the pull-up. Woodard the big offensive rebound, and he is hacked underneath. Does it count? Yes, and a foul.
And that's a big turnaround, as LaSalle had a great opportunity with the nice banker, a little hard by Lionel Simmons. But watch the miss by Bain. Woodard doing it, shooting the basketball, now rebounds it real strong, shows himself, gets hit by Milko Lieberst right on the arm, but a good ball fake to get Lieberst off his feet.
Greg Woodard looks totally different this year as opposed to last year as a player.
That's because he's a sophomore, not a freshman. That's the only reason.
Enough said. Gets the three-point play, and again the Wildcats digging into the LaSalle lead, down by 4 with 7:55 to play, clock running here in the first half. And the Cats go back into a zone.
So when you go zone now, there's 4 shooters out there that Villanova has to worry about.
Johnson's one of them for 3. Bobby continues to struggle from the field, and there's Dowdell with another rebound. Bain, as Johnson was cheating on defense. Nice bounce look for Greis. Layup and a foul. Smart play by Aaron Bain, and a good look underneath for Greis, who got the easy deuce.
Real nice bounce pass by Aaron Bain, but Greis does a good job pinning his man, Lieberst, on the back there. Gets a nice pass, and here's a real bad foul by Bob Johnson because Greis has no way he's not going to make that layup, and he's a happy young man right now as he has a chance to get a three-point opportunity and knock this lead down to 1.
Greis looking for his 10th point of this first half. Greg Woodard leading Villanova with a dozen. Unable to convert, so a 2-point spread with 7:20 to go. Simmons, who has only 4 points thus far in the half, can't get it going there. And Speedy Morris wants a timeout, and he gets it. With 7 minutes and 12 seconds to play, the lead as much as 9. Now it's been whittled to 2.
What is it, Nick? You need some chapstick or something? Because your lips keep getting stuck on your teeth. Or is that your idea of a smile?
Let's not discuss my business or his business or your business, okay?
But that leaves us with nothing to talk about.
Well, your friend is not going to get away with what he's gotten away with for 15 years.
My phones have funny little noises on them. You're setting me up, Nick. So if I asked you out, maybe you'd accept.
Dating is not a criminal activity, Mr. McHugh. You're a bad boy, Nick. You're a very bad boy. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Just looking at you hurts more.
You are in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He lied to me.
You wouldn't shoot me over money.
Oh, that's a lot of money. What's it gonna be, Nick?
Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell, Tequila Sunrise.
Along with Ed Stefanski, I'm Mark Zumov. Here at a sold-out Civic Center, some 9,300 on hand. Watching a game that has been controlled, at least from a tempo standpoint, by Villanova, and Lionel Simmons has been controlled by the Villanova defense. Only 4 points, and those 4 points came in the first 3 to 4 minutes.
And the other stat is Lionel Simmons only has 4 attempts at the basket, so he's 2 for 4. Again, you got to give Villanova's defense some credit. Is Lionel not trying to work hard enough on the offensive end? What he does so well is pass and cut to the basket. You got to see Lionel Simmons moving out the ball, and his teammates have to look for him. Let's see if they, right after the timeout, if they'll go get it, Mark. Let's see if they set up a play for Lionel Simmons.
For 3, it's Jack Hurd. Weak side, Didell and Simmons, and there is Woods and a fresh 45 for LaSalle.
He may not be getting the ball, but there he keeps it alive for the LaSalle, and there's another foul on Hurd.
And for Jack Hurd, that is number 3, and no doubt Bob Johnson will come right back in to take his place. So life at the small forward has been very difficult for one Jack Hurd. He has 3 points in this game, coming only on a 3-point shot, and more than likely now he will sit out the rest of this first half.
Again, he set the screen. A lot of times the guy coming off the screen, Jack Hurd was setting a screen for Lionel Simmons. Sometimes you have to wait for the screener to be set, then rub your man off of Jack Hurd. Right there, I think Lionel left a little early. Jack Hurd just got caught moving.
Aaron Bain with only 2 points, but he's gotten involved in other areas as well. LaSalle in the penalty, so he gets the 1-and-1 and makes the first. Bain out of Flint Hill Prep, Clifton, Virginia, freshman forward, 6'7", 200. They say he's so versatile, he never makes a layup the same way twice.
Well, you wouldn't know which way he shoots the ball mostly with the left and right. I mean, he just got control of both hands.
And now, Villanova out of the zone, trapping off of what looks to be a 1-3-1, and the game is tied at 25. Now they flatten it out to a 2-3.
They like to give different looks, but there's a 3.
For Woods, can't get it down, and a defensive rebound by Greis. And for the first time tonight, Villanova could take the lead. Bain for Dowdell. Simmons knocked it away, and he couldn't save it. Out of bounds, and Villanova will retain possession as Rodney Taylor coming into the game, replacing Mark Dowdell. In fairness to Rodney, I think Dowdell did an excellent job defensively against Lionel Simmons.
Well, Mark Dowdell has a lot of the facets of the game right there. Defense almost a steal in the out of bounds, but he did a good job fronting and taking away the cuts of Lionel Simmons.
That's Woods on Walker.
The pressure's been picked up by Woods right now.
Greis, good look for Bain, the runner, yes! And for the first time tonight, Villanova with the lead. Just over 6 minutes to go. First half, it's 27-25 Wildcats.
Nice cut by Aaron Baines, a nice way to use the glass. Real soft touch off the glass.
And the LaSalle fans here now trying to pick it up. Almost a steal by Woodard. Simmons, it's one way to get him involved, bring him out on the perimeter. Walker for Villanova.
Real good pressure by Villanova's man-to-man defense. Not a good shot there by Lionel Simmons.
And Chris Walker smartly controlling the tempo, letting the traffic go by him and setting up the half-court offense. Bain turns on Johnson. And the derisive air balls from the sellout here at the Civic Center. Overton for 3. LaSalle's gone stone cold here as the weather. As Walker goes in on Woods, who fouled him before he took the shot. It'll be a 1-and-1 coming up for Chris Walker.
The Villanova's bench wants an intentional foul. But when you the point guard shoots it, the other guard has to get back, and Randy Woods makes a good move by going for the basketball, stopping at it, and not letting Chris Walker get the three-point opportunity. But they're rushing their shots. LaSalle's not playing together here in the first half. They got to move the ball a little bit better. Everyone catch the basketball and get a better shot than just a quick three-pointer we just saw by Doug Overton.
First foul of the game on Randy Woods. Both teams in the penalty. And Walker will get another. Walker's really taken the reins at Villanova. He has not been afraid to show leadership both in practice and on the floor here in the game.
believe me, it's a tough night when you got to bring the ball up against Randy Woods and get your team in the set and get the right people with the basketball. Now they're showing a 1-3-1. Let's see if they flatten back out in the 2-3 like they did the last time down, the Villanova Wildcats.
Simmons for three. Levers, good look, Simmons, yes! That's their first field goal in a while. And the Villanova lead is 2 at 29-27.
And they got lucky it was an air ball because the Villanova Wildcats weren't ready to rebound the basketball because it was an air ball.
Levers, the near steal. It'll be Villanova basketball on the sideline. And Milko with his hustle and his hands trying to get his Explorer teammates going defensively. 4:48 to go first half. Villanova has assumed the lead, but by no means control of this game. 29-27. The Wildcats taking the lead, their first of the game just a few moments ago. The Explorers had led by as much as 9. Bain. The lob for Greis. That was a pretty hard lob. It was a very tough catch for Greis, and it goes out of bounds. That is turnover number 10 on the Wildcats. It's funny, Villanova with 10 first-half turnovers, yet the Explorers have not been able to take advantage in the transition.
Well, again, Villanova's doing a real nice job getting back on defense. The court balance is there for them.
Simmons looks to tie. Taylor commits the block of the foul is called.
That's where Lionel Simmons is best. Coming off a screen without the basketball, he makes such good cuts. There they found the basketball. If he can get the ball inside the 15-foot area on cuts, he's very difficult to stop.
And Mark Dowdell comes into the game replacing Rodney Taylor, who sits down with 2 fouls. Rodney has 2 and David Miller 2 for Villanova. Jack Hurd, the only Explorer in foul trouble, with 3. And Lionel Simmons, who's only shooting 59% from the line, considerably below his career average, will go to the strike. And Simmons still stuck on 4 points in this first half. Only 4 for Simmons.
LaSalle trying to go half court and pressure and double team right there.
Villanova basketball. Still lots of time on the shot clock, 35 seconds. And a whistle. And a foul called against Tom Greis.
Off the basketball, trying to post his man. And I think Tom will take a seat next to Raleigh Massimino as James Bryson, the freshman from Maryland, will check into the lineup.
And there goes Greis to the bench. So we do have an official correction now. 6 points in the half for Lionel Simmons, but still not very good. Greis, who really got untracked early, was the main man offensively for Villanova. Got 6 quick points. And now he takes a seat on the bench. And there goes Lieberst. So Lieberst could tie it here with a second shot. Speedy Morris's team down 1. Just over 4 minutes to play first half. Woodard back to help against the LaSalle pressure. Dowdell for Bain. Baseline, lay it up. Yes!
They did a real nice job. They handled the basketball. All 5 Villanova Wildcats took their time, made nice bounce passes, and got the layup against the half-court pressure.
The Villanova lead is now 3. As the Cats man up. Three-pointer Woods. LaSalle has not shot well at all from three-point territory. Right there, Villanova unable to control it. It'll be LaSalle basketball with a fresh 45.
But that's 3-point range from the NBA distance. I mean, you can take a couple more passes and get a better 3 even.
Here's Walker. Can he beat Overton? And the foul is called, and Walker will go to the line. Would you believe 3 for 15 three-point shooting for Doug Overton and his LaSalle team?
Well, you're going to live or die by the 3. We said before, if LaSalle is shooting the ball and they're extremely hot, there's nobody that's going to stop them in the country. But when they're not shooting the basketball, and a good team like Villanova playing that man-to-man pressure, forcing them out even further for the 3, they have some problems, and they have to go get a little bit more inside the Lionel Simmons.
How about Lionel Simmons now taking a seat on the bench?
Well, maybe not a bad idea. He's not playing real well right now. Maybe Speedy Morris gets him out, looks at the game from the bench and see what the problem is.
Donnie Shelton, number 52, sophomore center, 6'8" out of Trenton Central. As the star ponders the situation, Walker makes a foul, and the largest lead of the game now for Villanova at 5. 3:23 to play, clock running here in the first half. Johnson for 3. And that comes in the midst of a 17-4 run for Villanova as Bobby Johnson, again, slumping in terms of his shooting, but he gets a 3 there to pull his team to within 2.
And the other thing is when the 3 gets you back in very quickly when you make a couple of them. LaSalle goes straight 2-3 zone with Lionel Simmons on the bench. They're out of the man-to-man defense.
Woodard with Walker up top. They leave Walker open. Good move around Shelton. Now Woodard for 3. No. Shelton and Bain. And there is Milko Levers to get it for LaSalle. With 2.5 to play in the first half, LaSalle can tie it with a 2, take the lead with a 3. Johnson over Bain. The shooting stats for LaSalle in the first half are just going to be horrendous.
Well, again, one-on-one. Right there, Bobby Johnson really didn't have the shot, pass the ball, and move around and set screens. I'm sure Speedy Morris is not happy with his offensive continuity here in the first half.
What did he call their play against Penn? Selfish. Too much one-on-one, said Speedy Morris. Foul underneath as Donnie Shelton tries to front James Bryson. And Shelton called for the foul.
James Bryson showed himself real strong right there. Speedy Morris saying about Randy Woods and his penetration on the offensive end. 2 animated coaches, 2 guys that really like to get into it.
Is there a tie under there for Speedy to take off?
I think Bill Speedy Morris has a tie.
Bryson can't can the front end. Overton wins the foot race but hits the deck. And too many numbers for Villanova, and LaSalle pulls it out. Now Woods there a little gun shy. He was not afraid earlier. Now they're looking for a better shot. Down 2. And Johnson took a walk. You really have only 3 guys here in Johnson, Overton, and Woods into the offense. They're really not looking down low for Levers or Donnie Shelton, so Villanova can come way out with the defense.
They're really not going to give them the ball down there low. They're looking for cuts or the good jumper. But again, you got to give credit to Villanova. They're causing some of these turnovers. They're playing very good man-to-man defense.
And Lionel Simmons has returned to the game, replacing Donnie Shelton. I didn't think he would sit out for that long. Just long enough to think about it. Bain looks for the cutter underneath. That is Bird. It is off of Bird and out of bounds. That is the 11th turnover in the half for Villanova. LaSalle will have possession.
Villanova's averaging 17, 18 turnovers a game. If Villanova handled the ball a little better on their half-court set, they would have a bigger lead than 2 points here.
Levers the high post. Overton for 2.
Good blocking out by Mark Dowdell.
Excellent position by Dowdell. And again, there's Walker to just walk it up.
Again, a 33-31 to the liking of Villanova right now.
Walker through some traffic. Bain has it knocked away. Simmons looks up court, then decides to give it to Overton. 54 on the game clock, 41 on the shot clock. So a chance for Villanova to gain another possession. We'll see how far down LaSalle goes. They get it in to Simmons. And Villanova with a rebound. Still about a 2-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. 38 on the shot clock, 35 on the game clock. So now they turn that shot clock off. Walker with Woods on him, and Walker went out of bounds off of him. Rolly Massimino doesn't like the call, makes his feelings known to Mickey Crowley, but to no avail. Turnover number 13 in the half for Villanova. 20 seconds for LaSalle to tie or perhaps take the lead. And now they move into the offense. Alley-oop. Overton for Simmons, and they're grabbing Simmons en route to the hoop, I believe, was Calvin Bird. That's going to be it. The foul is on Berg. And Simmons will be able to tie it at the line. And for defensive purposes, Levers goes out of the game and Donnie Shelton comes in. One and one for Lionel Simmons, who earlier tonight passed Tom Gola to become the #2 all-time leading scorer here at LaSalle. But there are more pressing problems. That is a 2-point deficit to Villanova here at the Civic Center. And now Simmons can tie. Tied at 33, still 6 seconds for the Wildcats. This is something they practice a great deal. They know how much time they have. Walker, however, can't get a good shot. Oh, and it hits the rim. Unable to pass it up court and set something up. Nonetheless, Villanova has done what Rolly Massimino seems to do almost all the time, and that is control the tempo on Speedy Morris's LaSalle Explorers. 33-33 at halftime as the Explorers did not shoot well, partially because of the Rolly Massimino defenses. And Rolly will be the guest now as we bring in its Stefanski.
Coach, you're doing a real good job in transition, getting back. They're not fast breaking on you.
No, they're not. But we got to pick up the defensive tempo a little bit better. They've made some great shots. We're up 5, and we just turned the ball over 2 or 3 times. Much, much too many.
13 turnovers in the first half.
Well, that's what happens. You have young people, that's going to happen. But I just think we're getting mugged. It's incredible. I can't believe it. But that happens.
Okay, good luck in the second half. Thanks. Okay, Coach Mass, not real happy, Mark, with the officiating here in the first half. But let's see what happens in the second.
Yet his team has done very well here in the first half in terms of controlling the tempo. The game is tied right now at 33. Well, we all hear about Lionel Simmons, but how about Jack Hurd or Doug Overton or even Bob Johnson? The supporting cast for the L Train. Let's get more on that trio tonight here at halftime.
He is among America's elite, but by no means alone.
I want to win, and I've always been around a winning atmosphere, and I'm going to give it my all. You know, I don't do any one thing great, but I make sure I do all the things well.
He is one of the most prolific scorers in the college game, but he happily shares the ball.
If you're real quick, real jump real high, you know, you don't have so many good instincts, but you know, when you run with the greatest jumping ability, you're not the quickest guy on the court, you kind of have to read what's going to happen.
He has expanded his horizons while clinging to his roots.
I'm not a scorer like Lionel. He can score just about anywhere on the court. I think I'm a spot-up shooter. I have to work more on my dribbling and pulling up to shoot the J. And I like to get after people defensively also.
He is Lionel Simmons, the franchise, the train which LaSalle has climbed aboard on track to national recognition. Yet the other Pistons are churning. Each brings a distinct element to the floor, and each has a fascinating story.
Here's Overton going to solo.
Junior lead guard Doug Overton from Dobbins High School. He was the 1987 Philadelphia Public League Player of the Year, but by his own admission, he was a bit tense and timid at times in his freshman year. Now he has the ball in his hands. The decisions are his.
Anybody that knows basketball would know that this isn't a Lionel Simmons team, and we have some experienced players, and it comes with experience. You know, when I was a freshman, I wouldn't have took that shot. I would have looked for Lionel. I would have did anything in the world to get Lionel that ball. I didn't want to take that shot. But as a sophomore and playing close to 40 minutes a game, I gained a lot of experience, and I was able to take those shots with confidence. And when you have a coach like Coach Morris that tells you, you know, don't be afraid to do this, and you're capable of doing different things, and we just can't win on the shoulders of Lionel Simmons, that we need other guys to make us a better team, then that makes us a better player, and it makes us want to take those big shots, and it's harder for other teams to defend us.
Overton has clearly established his leadership role, and the talent matches. He's been first-team all-conference and has always been a winner.
My mother told me that I'm like a lucky charm, and I should be thankful because you know, the teams that I've been associated with in the past have been really successful. Back in Diamonds, I played with Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball, and that program really went up. You know, Rich Yankovic's best 4 years, he told me, and I was able to win Player of the Year that senior year, so that ended a career there. Then I come on to LaSalle with Lionel Simmons just getting started, and then this program fluctuates. We're now playing at the Civic Center. We've been in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years, and Coach Morris is really getting things going, and I'm a part of the new renaissance here. So, you know, I've been lucky, and I'm very fortunate and thankful to be a part of it all.
Hurd for three. He got half of it back on one shot.
It's been a heady ride already for this role player. The conference freshman of the year last season became LaSalle's designated bomber. A Simmons double team often meant a Jack Hurd three-pointer.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent my freshman year was kind of, you know, just something that had to be done. With the loss of Tim Legler last year, we really needed some shooting from that off-guard position. And, you know, coming in last year, coaches told me I was going to have to do that for us. So, you know, I really don't look to score so much as I like to drive on loose balls and just try to, you know, hustle defensively. But last year, it was a golden opportunity. The way they were, you know, doubled down on Lionel the whole season, and the way Doug was playing, they had to respect him. And really just opened up a lot for me as far as my shot. You know, it was really quite easy to step in there and take open jump shots.
In this, his sophomore year, the arrival of Randy Woods has pushed Hurd into the front court at times. He is from a small town, Lidditz, Pennsylvania, melding with the city's finest.
I've been coming to Philadelphia since I was in 10th grade, and I've been playing Sunny Hill, and you know, so I guess maybe a lot of that came from that. I've been around some great players since I was, you know, pretty young, and I was real fortunate that way. So that might, you know, came along through some of the things I did during the summer.
Ever since last year, I knew I was going to stay in the city, and the decision came to be made that LaSalle would be the right school.
That announcement fundamentally changed LaSalle basketball and the life of Lionel Simmons. But few realized at the time that another youngster relegated to the background would make his mark as well.
And by the way, Bobby Johnson is also going to LaSalle, a young man standing in the back here. Bobby played last year at Southern, and he was my manager this year, and scout and practice player, and he's also going to LaSalle on a basketball scholarship.
Messi blocked in there beautifully by Bob Johnson.
A story filled with ironies. Bobby Johnson could have teamed with Lionel as seniors at Southern High School, but he was academically ineligible.
And the game is over!
My senior year was kind of depressing to be sitting on the bench all the time, just watching, and knowing that I couldn't play, and it was my fault, but, you know, I had to accept that and, you know, wait for next year to go to college. I knew I was going to college, I just didn't know where.
Where became LaSalle University. Then head coach Lefty Irvin had recruited Johnson as a junior. Johnson, having missed his senior year in high school, simply wanted to suit up his first year in college. He did not want a redshirt, and Lefty agreed. Now, 4 years later, Johnson is providing the off-the-bench spark to ignite LaSalle's attack.
It's rewarding to think about the things that, you know, happened to me and the way it came about, you know, being a great friend of Lionel's and living in the same neighborhood and everything. And, you know, this time of day, you don't really see too many people, you know, wanting to do too well, you know, in everyday life. So I figured, you know, to try to do the best I could, and hopefully a lot of good things will happen. So far it has, and I'm thankful for that.
It is a classic case of dual dependency. Lionel Simmons has owned the headlines without a fundamental change in character. He needs his teammates and applauds their work ethic. His teammates know that the national stage beckons because of Lionel, yet there's always room for their own individuality.
Obviously playing with Lionel is just a thrill and something, you know, I'm going to always remember. And he's just one of the great unselfish players, probably the greatest player I ever played with, easily. And, you know, like I said, you know, he just makes you feel so confident in yourself because he shows so much confidence in you, and that's a great sign of a leader.
She's all ours. Nice place.
How about some customers?
Ladies' night.
Great place, guys. Who did your decorating?
It was a time when life didn't seem so complicated.
Marriage is what brings us together today. What?
I'm killing myself once we reach the honeymoon suite.
Wouldn't that be nice? A courtly age. Of gentle conversation.
I will always come for you.
But how can you be sure?
This is true love.
Actually, there was a lot of treachery, peril, and revenge.
Prepare to die.
Never go in against the Sicilian when death is on the line.
There were affairs of state.
And I've got my country's 500th anniversary to plan, my wedding to arrange, my wife to murder, and Gilda to frame for it. I'm swamped.
And affairs of the heart.
My Wesley will always come for me.
Your Wesley is dead.
I've seen worse. Bye-bye, boys. Have fun storming the castle.
It's more than 30. What's the difference? We've got him.
Think it'll wait? It would take a miracle. Goodbye.
It's a story of love. A tale of adventure. It's as real as the feelings you feel. The Princess Bride.
David, your grandparents are not in space. They were lost to sea. They've been dead for 5 years.
Hello, darling.
I feel like a teenager. I'm willing to bet $10 we can make 11 baskets before you hotshots can.
On that planet, no one ever gets sick, no one ever gets old, and no one ever dies.
You get better if you go back. I got better before.
As far as I'm concerned, we owe them everything. And if one of their friends needs help, I'm damn well gonna give it. You can count me in.
Nothing gets out of this building.
Stop! What are you doing?
Well, you see, he's my friend. And we're going to take him home.
Journey to the most wonderful place in the universe. Home.
Along with Ed Stefanski, I'm Mark Zumov back here asking the question, how cold is it outside? How cold is it, Ed Stefanski?
Well, it's colder outside, but it's cold in here the way these teams are shooting the basketball, too.
Really? I mean, could LaSalle have been any colder in that first half?
No, but again, not a good shot selection. Plus, Villanova's defense at man-to-man's pushed them out a little bit farther, and they're still taking the shots. They're not good shots. I'm sure Speedy's throwing everything in that locker room right now.
The defense has really caused problems for Lionel Simmons. Here is someone who averages 22.5 a game. He has scored at least 20 points in his last 25. He only has 8 at halftime. Why?
Oh, at all half there. People are saying, what's the matter with Lionel? What's the matter with Lionel? Well, again, maybe give some credit to Villanova's defense. Plus, I don't think Lionel can get in the flow if you're going to take that quick a shot. You know, maybe another couple passes, you get a little bit better shot and maybe get Lionel Simmons in the flow of it. Now, is Lionel not making good cuts to the basketball? That's another factor. So something's got to give here in the second half because Villanova, you would say, outplayed LaSalle in the first half with 13 turnovers.
Let's take a look at Lionel in action. We should mention that when he scored his first 2 points of the game, he passed Tom Gola as the #2 all-time scorer at LaSalle, but I don't think he's thinking about that right now.
But early in the contest, I thought he was going to get off because he was squaring to the basket and making nice shots over the Villanova defense.
Doug Overton leading the Explorers in shooting at 60%, and he had 10 points at halftime.
Well, right there you see Chris Walker worry about Lionel Simmons. You can't let Overton open, and he makes them pay for it.
And Overton is the scoring leader for LaSalle at halftime, along with Simmons, Bobby Johnson coming off of the bench, and Randy Woods, the leading three-point shooter, with just 2 for that first half. Now for Villanova, Tom Greis was really active early on, and that was a matchup I think they really tried to take advantage of.
Well, again, Villanova likes to get the ball into their 7'3" center, Tom Greis, early. He's getting the ball in real nice range there. He's got the nice touch and gets the good ball.
How about Greg Woodard, a freshman who struggled last year as a freshman, this season as a sophomore, as you say, with that 1 year under your belt, you're that much more different.
You just experience and you have the confidence, you know what you're doing at Villanova academically, you know what Raleigh Massimino wants to do in a very tough, complicated system, so he got it together.
And freshman Aaron Bain at times doesn't even play like a freshman.
Well, Aaron Bain, as you said earlier, has both hands when he goes in for those layups, left or right, but he knows how to play the game.
Take a look at the Villanova scoring. Greg Woodard, the sophomore, Tom Greis, the senior, Aaron Bain, the freshman, and Chris Walker has done a very good job at controlling the tempo for Rollie Massimino and the Wildcats here in the first half. And as we take a look at the stats, LaSalle, very poor shooting as you might expect.
Well, 55% is very good for Villanova, but it's not real good when you have 14 turnovers. And that's the big problem. Rebounds are pretty even. So the key stat right there kept LaSalle in the contest here in the first half is 14 turnovers to their only 8.
Through it all, we're tied at 33 here at the Civic Center. We'll be back with live second half action in just a moment.
This country is in deep trouble, people. This country is rotten to the core, and somebody better do something about it. We have a very special guest with us. Kent is the classic American youth, energetic and resourceful, spoiled, perverse, and disturbed. Would you say that's an accurate description, Kent?
Barry, you should ask me if you want to have a guest on the show.
Why?
Because I'm the boss, Barry, that's why.
All you have to do is just be nice, okay?
I don't care what you think. No one does.
He's going down in flames, Dan.
So what?
You get the package and send down to the station. See, if I were you, I'd have my pretty assistant give the police a call. Take the bomb squad about 10 minutes to get down
Bomb squad? Why should I call the bomb squad? Tell me something. I'm curious. How do you dial a phone with a straitjacket on it?
Along with Ed Stefanski, I'm Mark Zumoff back here at Philadelphia Civic Center, moments away from second half action. What better time than to tell you about an early Christmas present that we will be delivering on Saturday. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls taking on the 76ers. That will be Saturday starting at 7:30.
You ask every little kid, and I have 4 of them, and you ask all the kids in the neighborhood, who's your favorite basketball player? Michael Jordan. Mike. He's the guy.
All you have to say is Mike. 33-33 as we get set for the second 20 minutes of play. LaSalle 4-0, 1-0 in the Big Five coming in. Villanova 6-3, 1-0 in the Big Five. They have already played a Big East game. They've beaten San Diego State, St. Francis, Vermont, Penn in their only Big Five game, Connecticut and Drexel losing to North Carolina, Louisville, and Virginia. And Greg Woodard and Tom Greis really came alive in that first half and played exceptionally well, especially Woodard.
But only 4 Villanova players scored, so they're going to have to get a little bit more point production from other people.
Both teams starting their original starting lineups. Nope, with the exception of Bobby Johnson. He comes in for Jack Hurd, who is saddled with 3 personal fouls. So Johnson, the only lineup exception as we begin this second half. Villanova with the basketball, the game tied at 33. Chris Walker on Randy Woods, and Woods really must get on track offensively. And the Cats throw it away, and the turnovers continue to mount. That's number 15, and coming off the bench is Lance Miller, no doubt for Chris Walker.
Well, right there, the first possession, LaSalle came out extremely hard, man-to-man pressure, and created the turnover, but not a real good pass by the Villanova guard.
Well, he comes in instead for Aaron Bain, the freshman. Miller, very versatile. Now playing at the forward. He does play backup point behind Walker as well, and there is Walker committing a foul on Doug Overton.
Chris Walker decided to go for the steal, but Overton, a very good ball handler, got him on his back, and he fouled him.
And Doug Overton will go to the line. Speedy Morris is already talking about Doug Overton being an NBA-type player.
Speedy Morris firmly believes, and it's a little bit of prejudice, that he is the best guard in the city right now. And it's tough to argue with Speedy the way Overton is playing the game.
Cans 2 for the first 2 of the half. The Explorers with the lead.
Speedy's trying to pick up the defensive pressure. It'll create better offensive opportunities for him.
They trap Woodard just as he crosses midcourt. And either Woods, who was holding hands there with Speedy Morris, or Overton will be called for the foul.
Well, right there, that was a triple team. You don't want 3 guys on one on the ball. You got to have 2, but 3, someone's going to definitely be open.
Foul is on Woods, his second. Explorers in the man. Walker. Good board for Taylor, and he puts it back.
And that's what Rodney Taylor does real well. He used his strength to go back up for his first 2 of the evening.
Opening minute of play, second half. Teams tied at 35. Cats in the man-to-man. Walker on Overton. And a good play there by Greg Woodard to knock it off of Randy Woods and out of bounds.
Not a real good cut by Randy Woods, but also Doug Overton did not have a great angle to make the pass. Sometimes you may have to take the extra dribble towards the man when you're passing the basketball.
Another turnover for LaSalle, number 9. This has not been a beautifully played game. Close, but not pretty. That's Miller, the freshman. Greis looks backdoor for Taylor, somehow gets it. Had it gone, it would have counted. Rodney Taylor's going to go to the line.
I think they got Milko Levers again for the foul. The pass by Greis was deflected by Lionel Simmons, but deflected right in the hands. Watch, pretty good defense on the ball by Lionel Simmons. He gets a piece of it, but globs right down to Rodney Taylor. And Milko Levers, again, not a strong foul. If you're going to take the foul, don't let him get a chance for a 3-point opportunity.
And Levers now will sit out with 3 personals. Braun Holland, the transfer from St. Bonaventure, back in. And Taylor gets 2. Taylor suffered a knee injury a couple of games ago against Connecticut. Only played a small portion of their game against Drexel earlier this week. His feet, which gave him problems earlier in his career, are okay. It's that left knee, and he had to get a new brace for it. Makes 1 of 2 at the line, so a 1-point margin for the Wildcats.
Now, Braun Holland is back in the game. Let's see if he's calmed down a little bit. The first half, he had the jitters.
This is Holland right now, number 51. Now they get it to Simmons, but not in good position. He's had to come out for the ball. Overton, the runner.
That is real nice one-on-one. As Riley Massimino looks on and says, hey, can't do much with that. The kid's a good ball player.
Now the seesaw. LaSalle goes up 1. 2 minutes gone, second half. Woodard has it slapped away, regained by Taylor, and finally taken by Holland. For the longest time, Taylor struggling with the ball on the floor. Now Woods for Johnson for 3. And there
wide
is
open,
Miller to take it down, and now they break. There's Woodard. Can he beat Woods to the hoop? Blocked in there by Johnson, and a foul.
The Villanova players on the defensive end grabbed the rebound. They didn't look up. Greg Woodard is wide open. He's calling for the basketball. Woodard catches it. Woods finally comes back. You'll see Bobby Johnson get all ball, but then he gets the body.
Bobby Johnson, only his first foul, but already 3 on the Explorer team. And there is Woodard to the line. Woodard had a career-high 17 a couple of games ago against Connecticut. Had a dozen at halftime, and that's where he is right now.
Villanova hasn't shown any real full-court pressure. Again, Raleigh Massimino does not want any running match here against LaSalle. He's just trying to keep them under control tempo-wise. That's unusual.
Draws the collar at the line, and LaSalle up 1 with the ball. Overton surveying a 2-3 Villanova zone defense. Dangerous pass if it was a pass for Simmons. And Walker stepped on the line, another Villanova turnover. Was that a pass for Lionel Simmons?
That was a pass, but that was not a real good decision by Doug Overton. It's just a good athletic move by Lionel Simmons and great hands to come up with it.
The old off-the-glass pass, maybe?
I don't think that's what they're trying to do. Now, Braun Holland's open in the middle, 51 for LaSalle.
And he could shoot the jumper. Woods has it blocked by Taylor, who came out defensively. Is he able to save it? Yes! LaSalle fans looking for a walk on Lance Miller, who comes out of the pack. Villanova sets it up down 1. Miller likes the slash, goes in on Johnson. Taylor muscles up on Simmons. Yes, and a foul!
Well, there's no doubt what Riley Massimino has told his troops at halftime is to power the ball inside. They're looking for Rodney Taylor inside, and they're getting the ball to him. Right now, we'll see Lance Miller. He make the nice bounce pass. Taylor using his body on Lionel Simmons. He goes strong to the basket.
Stay with us. We'll be back with more from Civic Center Convention Hall in a moment.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours the very best of everything this holiday season.
At the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve, Prism will present a secret movie. Hello there, Harvey here from Magic 103. If perchance you know the name of this secret film,
Treacherous Rendezvous?
you could win a lavish romantic adventure package from the Radisson Hotel.
Unsafe Alliances.
Now send your movie guest to this address and listen mornings on Magic 103.
Viperous Relationships.
Reveal your guess, and Prism's secret New Year's Eve movie could win you an encounter all your own.
Precarious Encounters.
Now don't give it away.
If you are hungry for college basketball, look to the new year. January 3rd and 4th, that Loyola St. Joe's game will be done by none other than Jack Ramsey. St. Joe's and Penn. And the return of the doubleheader. Prism style. The women, of course, first. St. Joe Villanova. And Temple St. Joe later on. Rolly Massimino now in his 17th year. He's won 61% of his games. 13 of 16 seasons have been winning ones. 9 NCAA tournament appearances. And he is purported to have 40 different defenses, and he has not been able to install all of them because he has such a young group here. But an excellent coach nonetheless.
40?
40. Count them. Out of bounds, last touch by the Wildcats. It'll be LaSalle basketball.
Villanova has plenty of opportunities on the line. You just, again, the kids are up in the line to make the foul shots. They haven't made the... Woodard just missed a couple of the other last time down.
Johnson there to save in the errant pass. 2-3 Wildcat zone. Woods for three. Has not gotten a three-pointer all night. He's the leading three-point shooter in terms of shots made. Not really good percentage-wise, but he is certainly not helping his percentage tonight. He has drawn the collar. Woodard, this is for three. Good.
And they got it going, Villanova does early in the game. 15 points by Greg Woodard. Good ball movement. They moved it around the zone, and Woodard is confident. Now this is going to be a straight 2-3 zone by Villanova. But again, a good strip by Villanova on Randy Woods.
Turnover number 12. Woodard. Wildcats being disciplined. Now Woodard on a drive. Ron Holland there to help out defensively. Bad pass, it is loose. Overton and Johnson. Miller back defensively for Villanova. Overton for two. And a whistle. And a foul away from the play. And it's going to be against Villanova's Rodney Taylor, I believe.
And that's not a real good foul at this time because Villanova got the basketball back. They were lucky it wasn't a layup. I don't see if Taylor was blocking off or went to the heart of the boards. He's not happy with the call.
Third personal on Taylor. The man just coming back into the game, Jack Hurd. He has three personals. Milko Lever sits down. As Hurd comes in with a mere 3 points.
Now Hurd will play at the guard position with Overton. Let's see if Hurd can shoot the basketball a little bit better.
Averaged 12 points a game in his freshman year from the guard. Puts it right up. Good play by Miller. Just pure athleticism to take it away from Bob Johnson, who had position. Walker, Dowdell with position. Can't get the roll. Greis offensive board. Follow up again. No! And finally there is Holland to clear the ball and the area. And welcome to LaSalle, Ron Holland.
Wow. They had a lot of opportunities, Villanova. They could not get the layup to go down.
Simmons.
See, but that's okay. That's where Lionel Simmons can work. That's where they got to get him the basketball because a lot of times they'll either make it or get fouled.
That's the first time this half they've got it to him in the paint. When Simmons has touched the ball, he's had to come out on the perimeter. 5:10 gone in the game is Greis, and a foul.
Well, Well, right there, Tom Greis used his body and his shoulder, dipped it a little bit into Bron Holland to get him off it. A strong move to the basket. Here's the entry pass from Woodard. He'll dip in hard. That's a good move to get him off him and score, and they got the foul on Bron Holland.
And Greis gives Villanova its largest lead of the game.
Thank you. And so, Mayor, these swiftly flowing currents create energy, which in turn creates power, which in turn brings electric light to every house in the valley.
That's very impressive, Calvin. Thank you, sir. But the contract calls for bringing Bud Light to the valley.
No wonder we're over budget.
Bud Light won't fill you up, never lets you down.
Which in turn keeps the Bud Light cold.
Everything else is just a light.
Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, use good sense and drink responsibly. Please, know when to say when. A reminder from Anheuser-Busch.
Well, it's early in the second half, 14:49, but you can sense LaSalle's urgency. They got to play a little bit better basketball. Villanova's doing a much better job here in the second half. The fans have not seemed to have been in the game as I thought tonight this place would be rocking. I don't know if the LaSalle fans thought that they were just the favorite and come in and just roll over, Villanova would roll over, but that's not happening. And I think the fans are going to have to get in to get their LaSalle Explorers back on track.
As much as we have talked about LaSalle guards and their steals and their quickness and how well Doug Overton has played, and in fact he is shooting 60% for the year, the LaSalle guards, including Bobby Johnson off the bench, 7 for 24 shooting, 29% in this game.
Again, you got to give some credit, a lot of credit, excuse me, to Villanova. They're playing good man-to-man defense. I think LaSalle will have to just work the ball a little bit better. As we said, the last possession LaSalle had down there, they got the ball inside to Lionel Simmons. That could give that man some headaches, the last man, Riley Massimino.
Set play from Speedy Morris as Tom Greis goes to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Cannot. Good hustle, though, by Miller and Greis, and it's LaSalle basketball.
It was, I think Riley's saying, Tom, why did you go for a good hustle? That's real good hustle, but it was out on the LaSalle player. But Greis went down. He doesn't go real fast to the ground, but he goes down at least.
Sort of defies the law of gravity as he's heading downward. Villanova with their largest lead of the game at 6.
And they're going to stay in the zone. Or is it a box and one? Woodard shadowing Lionel Simmons.
Now Hurd for 3. He can't get on track. Holland tries to pull, and there's Dowdell with the hustle in the corner. And he smashes Hurd, who hits the deck, grabbing his face. Nothing called. Back comes Villanova. Villanova up 6 with the ball, just over 14 minutes to play here in the second half. Again, the control and the confidence helping Villanova here. And that was Lance Miller, the freshman out of Bridgewater, Raritan West with Bridgewater, New Jersey.
And 3 good plays, Walker to Woodard, and they ran Lance Miller baseline and got him a nice open jumper.
Largest lead of the game for Villanova at 8 as Simmons comes back and connects with a 3. So Lionel Simmons with his first answer here in the second half. It's a 3-pointer, now has 11 for the game.
And LaSalle will go in a 2-2-1 and try to trap out of it. Try to pick up the tempo defensively.
Villanova up 5. Dowdell with a runner. No. Johnson and Dowdell. And did Dowdell reach over? Yes. Dowdell reached over Bob Johnson, and he committed the foul.
An aggressive foul by Mark Dowdell. Bob Johnson from LaSalle had the inside position and went over the top.
Only the 3rd on the team and just the 1st on Mark Dowdell.
Back to straight man-to-man by Villanova.
The Explorers down 5 with the ball. 13:20 to play here in the second half.
Greis is aware. He's just standing inside. Tom Greis isn't really covering Bron Holland. He's worried where Lionel Simmons is going at all times.
Reach and foul on Walker. That is his 3rd. And that is something to watch because Chris Walker has done an excellent job tonight in helping Rolly Massimino control the tempo.
Aaron Bain checks back in the lineup for the Wildcats, but you're totally correct. If Walker gets in foul trouble, that really hurts Villanova ball handling because of the guard pressure that LaSalle can put on him.
Fresh 45 for the Explorers. The Walker foul was team foul number 4. Still can't find Simmons in the interior of the defense, so Hurd goes for 3, can't can it. Long rebound, Overton for 3, yes!
A rush shot there by Jack Hurd, but again, when you shoot the threes, you're going to get the long rebound. Villanova had good position, went right over the top, and Overton cans it.
2 straight threes for the LaSalle Explorers. They come to within 2. Bain is trapped, but gets it to Walker. Has Greis underneath. It's Walker on a solo, and he gets 2.
Well, what happened there? The guy who did it was Aaron Bain. When he split that double team, he found the open Walker for the layup.
Villanova back up 4. 12:20 to play. Clock running, second half. Simmons trying to shake loose from Dowdell. Takes him into the paint. Now for Johnson. The drive. Had it gone, it would have counted. Instead, Bobby Johnson will try to make 2 at the line.
Got Lance Miller for his 3rd foul. Good penetration by Bob Johnson. Had a chance to knock it down, but couldn't get it. He'll go to the line for 2.
And Randy Woods comes into the game, replacing Jack Hurd. Hurd sitting down with only 3 points. He had 1 tray coming in the first half. Greg Woodard comes back in, replacing Lance Miller.
And LaSalle, of course, wants to connect on the foul line, but they also like to get in that full court pressure if they can make both foul shots.
Johnson now has 8 for the game. So living and dying by the 3 are the Explorers. The 3 has brought them back in it. As Johnson only makes 1 of 2, and they're down 3, just over 12 to play, second half. Woodard trapped. Bain, the runner, blocked. Simmons, Holland the loose ball. The Explorers look to push. Johnson, Overton, Woods. No time to line that up as the Villanova defense came weak side very quickly, and now they'll set up their set offense.
Villanova, again, excellent job getting back on defense. They know LaSalle wants to run the court.
Walker with a near steal, and Woods chases it. Now a 5-on-4 advantage. Let's see if they take it. Woods walked. He walked with a basketball.
Randy Woods was unsure what he wanted to do. If he wanted to shoot, then he saw a player, his teammate, break into the basket. He decided he wanted to pass it. Walks first.
13 turnovers in the game now for LaSalle, a team that averages about 11 on the year. Bain with Simmons. Dowdell underneath. Too hard. Greis offensive rebound, lays it up and in.
Tom Greis very active tonight on the glass. Good move by Mark Dowdell, just couldn't get it to go, but Greis puts it right back in.
Greis now with 13 in the game. Woodard leading Villanova with 15. The Cats leading LaSalle by 5, just over 11 minutes to go, second half. Foul away from the play, says Jody Sylvester, as Dowdell, who has done a nice job in wrapping up Lionel Simmons here tonight, commits the foul. That is only his second, but very quickly the 15 foul, and a couple of replacements now coming in as Dowdell goes out for Rodney Taylor, and Milko Lieberst comes into the game, replacing Bron Holland.
Both coaches are shuffling guys in and out, but you're right, Dowdell is trying to take away Lionel Simmons' game, don't let him catch the basketball.
Simmons has done much better offensively against Taylor. Nice look, Overton underneath, laid up, Lieberst, no. Johnson has it, and they can bring it out for a fresh 45, but Woods says, I'll take it. And he hits for 3.
But they got a little lucky there. Milko Lieberst had the lab, just couldn't get it to go down, but Randy Woods answered.
Villanova up 2 with the ball, 10 and a half now, remaining here in the second half. A motion offense. As Woods is on Walker, and again, the LaSalle fans very much into it. A sellout here, 9,300 plus. Bain with Overton. Dangerous cross-court pass. Not a very smart play by an otherwise very smart freshman in Aaron Bain. Simmons looks to tie. Big offensive rebound by Overton. Underneath, Woods laid up, yes!
Strong rebounding by LaSalle. Randy Woods kept it alive, made the nice penetration, saw the dish, and the 5'10" Randy Woods makes it home.
And the Explorers have crawled back to tie after being down by as many as 8. They're knotted at 49. And the LaSalle defensive pressure getting to them. Here's Overton ahead of the pack. hand a layup. Out of bounds. Last touch by LaSalle. Unbelievable.
And Speedy Morris is extremely upset. Very good defensive pressure. Excellent defense by Randy Woods. The fans are in it. They get a breakaway layup. He runs it down, but he's not under control. Misses the layup. Good opportunity for Villanova there.
Miraculously, the tie is loosened, but still on. Maybe it's the sweater. 9.5 to play. Game tied at 49. Woodard lost it, but it was off of Simmons. And Villanova will take possession with 28 now on the shot clock.
You got to say that Villanova does have the tempo the way they want it. 49-49 with under 10 to go. This game obviously is going to go down to the wire.
Woodard, good defense by both Johnson and Woods. Taylor muscles in on Simmons, got him in the air and got the basket.
That's a good power move by Rodney Taylor. Had to put the ball on the floor, a couple dribbles, and again used the basketball to get the Lionel Simmons off the ground.
Taylor now with 7, all in the second half. And it's LaSalle down 2 with the ball. They get it to Simmons, and this is his territory. Works on Taylor, over Greis, no, and Taylor there to get the defensive board. Good defense by both Greis and Taylor, and once he saw Greis had him defensively, he went to the defensive board.
Yeah, Greis had to come over and double team. A good shot by Lionel Simmons. If they're going to double team, Levers is going to be open for LaSalle.
Simmons shooting a forgettable 4 for 13 tonight. Greis. Bobby Johnson had position on Taylor, who just wrestled it away. There's Woods trying to save it. He cannot. It'll belong to Villanova.
We said in the pregame, Rodney Taylor's going to play well tonight, especially on the boards. He'll just out-muscle LaSalle inside. They really don't have that strong guy to push Rodney Taylor around.
Woodard for 3. Yes!
And that was a design play out of bounds. They love to run it. Woodard hits it. 5-point advantage for the Wildcats over the Explorers.
18 for Woodard, a new career high, as he evidently has forgotten about that freshman year. Woods for 3. Can't answer. Levers, offensive rebound. Goaltending. That'll be goaltending on Lance Miller. Nice little jump hook by Levers. Very tough to get it over Tom Greis, but he did so. And the goaltending call on Miller.
There's the Randy Woods shot. Again, a long rebound. Here's the little hook shot over Greis. Lance Miller gets it on the way down.
Villanova up 3, going against the LaSalle pressure with 7:45 to play here in the second half. And the motion offense now for Villanova.
They've done a nice job on the baseline, and then they go inside with the basketball.
Greis. Miller, good hustle, smart play to knock it off of Bobby Johnson and out of bounds.
Taylor, the senior for Villanova, is doing a great job with his body. He's holding people down with the one hand. Let's see if we can get Taylor. There's the shot by Greis. But Taylor's doing a good job using his body and holding off LaSalle players. Excellent job.
Well, Villanova had a fresh 45, but there is Walker committing the foul, and that is number 4 on the sophomore point guard, who has done a wonderful job for Rollie Massimino tonight.
And now Rollie Massimino has to make the decision. Does he take out Chris Walker, because LaSalle is going to put the pressure on him?
Well, he's bringing in Aaron Bain. That leads me to believe now that Lance Miller will swing to the point.
Lance Miller has been trying to go to the point. He is not a point guard. He was in high school. He was the 2 guard, shot the ball, a lot of points. Walker on the bench. So now let's see what LaSalle does defensively. I'm sure they're going to trap all over the floor.
Meantime, Doug Overton will go to the line.
Now, Mark, they would have Lloyd Bumford, the freshman, normally go in there, but he's redshirted this year. He was hurt. And Chris Masadi would play at this spot, too, as a junior point guard, but he broke his foot.
Overton for 2, LaSalle to within 1. And let's see, indeed, if the Explorers don't unleash some pressure here on the freshman and sophomore guard crew. Miller gets it up for Bain. Good look inside for Greis. And he may have been fouled. Let's see. Is it Overton? It is Overton with the help down low on Greis. He commits the foul. The third on Doug Overton. And the sixth on the team. So 1-1 from here on in now for both teams. Villanova with a fresh 45. They are up 1, 7-11 to play. And they threw it away again. Overton leads the break with Johnson, with Woods. It's Johnson!
Under control, Doug Overton stops on the break and hits a slashing Bob Johnson for 2. LaSalle regains the lead by 1.
And trapping pressure by the Explorers. As Villanova comes cross court with 6:50 to play, now down 1. Woodard for 3, yes! 21 in the game for Greg Woodard.
Not a real good decision by Overton to double team the ball. You can't leave Greg Woodard open. LaSalle has to recognize where Greg Woodard is all night because he's got it going tonight.
7 for 8 from the field. Simmons trying to get it going. And Greis and Levers were tied up afterwards. Jody Sylvester blows the whistle, not to call a foul, but just to discuss things and make sure nothing breaks out between Greis and Milko Levers. The bucket by Simmons ties it at 57 with 6:23 to play in the second half. LaSalle again with the extended defense as Chris Walker comes back into the game. Remember, he has 4 fouls, and he has it now against Woods. Woodard, who's been the man offensively.
I think it's a good move by Raleigh Massimino. Put him back in. You have to have this kid on the floor, especially with LaSalle trying to put this half-court pressure on.
Game tied at 57. 6 minutes even, second half. Woodard again for 3. Oh! The tap-up by Dowdell will have counted, and there is Simmons to clear the area.
Almost a terrific tap by Dowdell. He gets fouled there by Dowdell.
Simmons on the run, either Miller or Dowdell committing the foul as Simmons went goalward. It's going to be Dowdell, and Lionel to the line for a 1-and-1. And for Mark Dowdell, that is foul number 3. As mentioned, both teams well into the 1-and-1.
And that's the first time we've seen the game we did it with Penn on Prism in the game this evening that Lionel Simmons showed some emotion with that rebound. He ripped it down and said, this is going to be my rebound, and just pushed Dowdell right off with his elbows.
Simmons with only 13 points tonight. Keep in mind he has scored 20 or more in his last 25. Give credit to the Villanova defense. Mark Dowdell and Rodney Taylor have done tremendous work tonight on Simmons. He has not been able to get the ball in the paint. He's had to come outside. Gets 2 at the line, and it's 59-57 LaSalle.
First, Villanova's got to break the pressure, then get in their half-court set. They've been getting good shots.
Woodard, Dowdell walks.
And the Villanova staff don't agree. I don't know if we have a replay. Let's see. It was a good play. They broke the half-court trap, made a nice bounce pass. They said Dowdell shuffled his feet.
And an earful for Jody Sylvester from Rolly Massimino as Sylvester goes by the Villanova bench. Simmons against Dowdell. Overton for 2. Johnson out of bounds, last touched by Villanova's Lance Miller. It'll be a fresh 45 for the Explorers. Simmons on Dowdell. Offensive rebound, Levers.
They got Greis holding them off. Dowdell's doing a real nice job on the man-to-man. Watch Simmons, he has to back off with his jumper. Look at Dowdell, 32, all over him. He has to fade, but Levers is right there, and Greis gets him with the body.
Only the second personal on Greis, but they're shooting from here on in. And Milko Levers shooting at an even 50% going in. Won't get another. Broken loose, and there's Overton and a fresh 45 for LaSalle. Big break for the Explorers.
Overton got away with a little push there, but they didn't catch him.
Overton looks to get the ball to Simmons, now goes for Woods.
They want to get it into Lionel Simmons' hands.
But look how far away from the basket he is. Now finally backs Dowdell in, the shot. And again, he misses. A horrible shooting night for Simmons. Ball loose on the floor. The 2 number 14s, Woods and Miller. and it's out of bounds on Lance Miller, and another 45 for LaSalle.
Again, Villanova's had some opportunities. LaSalle has missed their first shot, but LaSalle has done an excellent job on the offensive glass, beating Villanova to the basketball.
Revolving defenders for Rolly Massimino on Simmons. Rodney Taylor back in, replacing Mark Dowdell. There's Taylor on Simmons. Woods. Good look, Levers! For two.
Real nice penetration by Randy Woods. Tom Greis looking at the penetrator, didn't know where his man was and connected with Milko Levers.
The pressure defense now giving the Explorers a 4-point cushion with 4.5 to play. And Woodard is fouled as he comes across midcourt.
And Speedy Morris not happy, not a real intelligent foul, especially Doug Overton has 3 fouls. He does not want him sitting next to him with the 5th foul. Watch the penetration by Randy Woods. He gets by Woodard good. Greis is just looking there flat-footed. Levers cuts to the basket. Nice 2 points.
Tell you, it helps with Randy Woods to have a 2-guard with point guard instincts, and Woods made a very nice play there to get it underneath. We do have 4 fouls on Overton, so 4 each on the 2 point guards. Chris Walker for Villanova and Doug Overton for LaSalle. And Woodard, who adds to his career high, now has 22, will get another.
Pretty good numbers there, 7-9, 4 for 6, 5 for 7.
LaSalle now up 2 with the ball.
This is great.
That's what it's all about, my man. Simmons. Woods, who has struggled desperately in this game, although he has come back to score 5 in the second half. Overton for 3. Long rebound for Taylor. And Villanova can tie or perhaps take the lead with a tray. And the man to give it to, I think, is Woodard. He's been the man. Or get it down low to Greis.
Well, LaSalle stays in the 2-3. Villanova's done a good job getting the ball baseline, either a skip pass or inside. There it is, the baseline again, right inside.
And they work it to Greis for the baseline, and he gets 2. Villanova has done that for years. They work a man on the baseline. It gives another passing angle into the post, and they got it to Greis, who ties the game with 3 minutes and 41 seconds to play. No one has had a double-digit lead in this game, and most assuredly down to the wire. We'll be back.
The adventure has begun.
Rule number 1, karate for defense only.
The quest continues.
Rule number 2, fast learn rule number 1.
The focus is true. The secrets hidden deeper.
The secret of Miyagi family karate.
I don't get it.
Practice, you will.
Can you break a log like that?
Don't know. Never been attacked by tree.
The journey would take him to an exotic land.
Never put passion before principle. Even if win, you lose.
The friendship is greater. The opponent more deadly. And a boy would become a man. This time, the danger is real. Karate Kid, Part 2. The adventure continues.
Eddie, Rodney Taylor only has 5 assists in his first 9 games, but he gets a key one here.
Well, what they're doing, they're hitting, as we said, baseline and dumping it right there. Lionel Simmons has to get over the top, or when the pass goes baseline, Bobby Johnson, who had the guy throwing the ball Lance Moore, has to pack it in. They're not making good slides right now, LaSalle, and great execution by Villanova in their half-court set.
Greis with those 2 has 15 in the game, which is tied with 3.5 to play. Simmons on Greis, who's got about almost a foot on him. Tries to get him in the air. The shot. Weak side is Lever. Good offensive rebound. He's got maybe half a dozen in the game, but there's Taylor to take it away, and Villanova now with possession in this tie game.
An excellent defense by Greis. Never left his feet. Kept control.
8 rebounds altogether for Levers. Walker, the point guard, to Woodard, who's been the man offensively. Lance Miller.
Oh, big rebound.
And he was tied up, and a jump ball, the possession arrow in favor of LaSalle.
Well, Lionel Simmons is not playing well on the offensive end, but what he's trying to do right now is just take over on the glass. He's only shooting 5 for 17 from the floor. Struggling offensively, but right now he's trying to get every rebound he can.
2:50 to play, still knotted at 61. Villanova in the man-to-man. Woods with a screen for three. Yes!
Would you say that's a clutch shot? How about ice water through that kid's veins? Randy Woods from Philadelphia just knocks it down to three.
Second three-pointer of the game, and Woods, who had 2 at halftime, now 10 for the game. 2.5 to play, and Villanova down 3. Motion offense signaled by Rolly Massimino for Chris Walker.
Where's Woodard?
He's the man who can supply the trays. He has several of them tonight. Instead, they go to Greis for 2. Yes! And that's one way to get 3 as Greis now will go to the line.
Again, excellent ball movement to the outside. Walker playing a little game with Miller. They finally get the ball inside. Now you're vulnerable to zone. Nice lob pass over Levers. Not a good foul right there. If you're going to foul Tom Greis, you can't let him get the three-point chance.
Foul on Johnson, his third.
Tom Greis just overpowering people right now.
Greis a good foul shooter at almost 79%. And that's one way to get 3. And you're tied now at 64.
Man-to-man by Villanova. They're not going to sit back in the zone.
Simmons with Taylor. Overton. Now Johnson. Walker on a switch. Johnson the shot. Got it! The senior from South Philadelphia High cans them in 2.
I mean, that's just real good defense. Bob Johnson just used his height advantage over Walker and just backed him in.
Steal by Simmons. Center court, Johnson. Behind the back for Simmons, and it's stolen away. A behind-the-back pass. And it was stolen away. Why go behind your back in a crucial situation with 1.5 minutes to go and your team up 2?
You and 10,000 other people are asking that question right now.
Taylor, Levers blocks off the baseline. Woodard for 2. No, and we have a foul. And the foul's going to be on Woods, I believe, in the act of shooting, and Woodard to the line for 2.
Yeah, again, we talk about good fouls and bad fouls. Right there, Woodard had left his feet. Randy Woods did not have any chance of blocking a shot. Just nicked him on the elbow. The referee caught it.
And Speedy Morris giving Bobby Johnson an earful as Johnson comes up the floor.
And Bobby Johnson, the senior, he knows he made a major mistake there.
So Johnson giveth with the key field goal, then taketh away with the foolish behind the back move. And now Woodard, who has game-high honors with 24 and has been living at the line lately, will tie it.
Oh, this is just great. 66-66, 1:24 left in the ball game.
We'll go back over in the zone.
Right. Now, will LaSalle take the 3-point shot or try to get it inside? They're going to run some clock down. 29 left in the 45-second clock. That has not been a factor all evening.
And 1:10 on the game clock. Therein lies the difference. Who will take the shot? 20 seconds on the shot clock. Woods for 3, yes!
Holy smokes. That was from downtown. You got to be kidding me. He was almost out of bounds. Villanova's going to need a timeout.
45 seconds on the game clock. Walker across midcourt, and the timeout is signaled with 41 seconds to go in the game.
You got to be kidding me on that shot. The 45-second clock was running down. We were under 20. Kid's a sophomore. Randy Woods, his first year playing for LaSalle. And I mean, that was from distance. That's a horse shot before a game saying, you match that. That's 4 feet outside the 3-point line and just nails it. He's ready. The defense tries to come out. Now you can say maybe Walker should have put more pressure on him, but he's far away from the basket. But again, Riley Massimino all week is saying they'll shoot from anywhere. You have to get a hand up on the shooter.
Anywhere at any time. Do you think that was the time for the shot? I know we're second-guessing success here, but I was rather surprised he put it up that early.
Well, the one problem you had was that the clock was running down. I don't know if there was 16, 15 seconds to go. You know, at this time, Big 5 game, the last minute in the game, who knows? These things happen in these kind of contests. But again, you can't fault the Villanova defense. Riley Massimino decided to go to the zone. Again, you would give that shot up most of the time. He nails it.
LaSalle 9 for 29 3-point shooting. Villanova 4 for 7. Undoubtedly, they will try to run something for Woodard here and try to free him up. Now, 37 on the shot clock, 41 on the game clock.
Speedy Morris will definitely go man-to-man. He's not going to let Woodard get off in his zone. Randy Woods is going to cover Woodard. He doesn't want him to get the 3-point opportunity. They're up 3, LaSalle with 36.
Miller against Johnson. Now they go to Greis. Backs it on levers. Yes! And a foul!
Well, that's one thing Speedy Morris said at timeout. We don't want to give up the 3, but you can't foul. Again, Greis does it for Villanova. 20th point, gets it inside. Lionel Simmons again, bad foul. You can't reach in there. He's got to move his feet and get the double team. That was a lazy foul by Lionel Simmons, and Greis can tie. You slap at the basketball, the official's going to call it.
And here is Greis to try to knot it up with a half minute to play. No! And the rebound is taken by Woods. And they could dribble out the clock.
You foul Lionel Simmons.
Well, Randy Woods is the foulee. The fouler, I believe, is Lance Miller. And it's Woods who will go to the line, shooting on the season, at least coming in, 77%. There is a timeout on the floor with 21 seconds to go and a 69-68 Explorer lead.
Well, you know,
it's been a crazy game.
You know, Mark, I would say that Randy Woods going to the line. Maybe, you know, you found him sophomore, first big game at Convention Hall, 10,000 people sell out. But this kid just knocked down a 3, so I don't think the pressure is going to get to this kid. He may miss the foul shot, but he's going up to the line. I'm sure he'll have good rotation on the basketball. Speedy Morris right now is saying, okay, when Randy makes both fouls, you got to say that because you want the confidence in the kid. He's also trying to set up the defense on the other end. But the first one is a big one to get it on the 2-point line.
And the irony here is that Woods struggled in the first half. He only had 2 points at halftime. He has canned 3 3-pointers here in the second half. And he is certainly up there now in the scoring column at 13. And now some very critical free throws here for Randy Woods. The sophomore out of Ben Franklin High School.
Now he's behind the Villanova faithful. They got the hands up. I mean, he just caught the ball from the official and just nails it.
Don't think about it. Don't count Villanova out of the game, especially with Greg Woodard. Who has 4 3-pointers on the night. And they'll need it now as Woods makes the second.
They got to get Woodard or somebody on the 3. They got lucky with Greis. I don't think they'll foul Greis again.
Man to man. Walker, and there's Woods almost to pick his pocket. That leaves Woodard open, but Taylor can't spot him. Now Miller for 3. No! Offensive rebound, Woodard lay it up. No! And is he fouled? No! As Greis puts it up and in, and that is it! The game is over! Partners Woods and Overton embrace in joy as Mark Dowdell and his Villanova Wildcat teammates file off in disappointment. Speedy Morris has escaped with a 1-point victory over a Wildcat team that dictated the tempo and almost pulled out a victory here at the Civic Center. Stay with us. We'll be back with Ed Stefanski and some post-game comments right after this.
I said, put on some steaks and get the Queen a Bud Light.
Bud Light's clean, fresh taste won't fill you up, never lets you down.
Henry, they're Pop-Tops.
Everything else is just a light.
Vincent, my name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother.
Oh, obviously. The moment I sat down, I thought I was looking into a mirror.
Oh, my goodness, are you looking good?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
One to be bad.
And Danny DeVito.
Way to go, Mom.
Are twins. Only their mother can tell them apart. Twins, the new comedy from Ivan Reitman.
Julius. What? Are you allergic to something? You're all swelled up. You look like you're ready to explode. I love it when you hit people. Who are you?
Vincent's brother.
We're twins.
That's right.
Big 5 City Series Basketball on Prism has been brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who remind you it makes good sense to drink responsibly. Know when to say when.
Along with Ed Stefanski, I'm Mark Zumoff back at Civic Center, where some 9,300, a sellout, are filing out. Our Budweiser players of the game, and we do mean players, the LaSalle backcourt of Doug Overton and Randy Woods. There is the game winner, a three-pointer for Woods, who came back nicely after getting only 2 at halftime, and he is there with his running mate in the backcourt and the coach, Speedy Morris.
Speedy, it wasn't that great of a game, but you'll take the win.
No, I thought it was a great game. It wasn't a pretty game. I don't know. We're not doing a lot of things that we're capable of doing. I think it's my fault. You know, we can't make excuses. We're just looking like we're not coached. These guys won the game, and you know, I'm very happy about that. But you know, we're just gotta look like we know what we're doing on offense, and not just go out there and play. I'm very happy we won, but you know, and the effort's there. The kids play hard. They're great kids. We're just not playing good basketball. Offensively, we're really bad.
Well, I'm sure you're corrected because you're going in a tough line in your schedule right now.
Well, we are, you know, and that's, but we're a good team. We have 4 guys back. This guy's a great player. Brian Holland's going to be a very good player. We have depth. You know, there's no reason why we're not moving without the basketball and making hard cuts and hitting the open man and you know, playing outside. Hey, Villanova, if they won a game, they really deserve to win because they just has confused, and that's the coach's fault. If you're confused and you don't know what you're doing, that's my fault.
Okay, Randy Woods, a big 3-point shot there at the end of the game. What were you thinking when the ball came around?
Well, I haven't been shooting well the first half. Second half, I knew it was going to come, Aaron. My teammates, thanks for them, kept going with me and kept telling me to shoot. So once I hit the first one, I knew I was feeling it since then.
And you played a lot of tough games in the public league here in Philadelphia. So that one-on-one at the end, any pressure?
No, Coach. In practice, you know, if you miss a foul shot, you got to go run the line. So in practice, plus I'm watching him made the last 4 foul shot.
Randy, great game. Right, let's get your teammate in here, the partner, Doug Overton. Doug, you're just playing terrific basketball here in the season.
Oh, well, I'm playing pretty good, I feel, but as a team, we're not playing that good. And being a point guard, I think I take part responsibility to that. But it's still early in the season. I'm sure we'll come around it a couple more games.
Villanova likes to change up defenses all the time. Did it give you some problems out there?
Oh, they gave me a headache all day and night. I kept looking over to the bench at Coach Mahalik and Monroe to get some help from the side, but they didn't know what they were doing too. So they changed the defense a lot. They confused us. They did a pretty good job, but it was expected of us, and we knew what they were going to do. And we just did a poor job of executing, but we hung in there. It's a bunch of tough kids, and we played together and came up with the win anyway.
Do you think the poor shot selection hurts Lionel's game a little bit, getting the ball maybe in the wrong spot at sometimes?
Well, I won't blame that on Lionel's fault. A guy like him has to get the ball 3 out every 4 times down the floor. And when we're not hitting our jump shots, Lionel is not getting the ball inside. So if his game's not on, he's going to take some shots that he normally doesn't take. But he can make those shots. And it's a matter of time before Lionel come around and start playing that All-American basketball.
Well, now, how is it? Last year you were the point guard all year. Now you got Randy Woods in there. Jackie Hurd play the point. You can go either spot, can't you?
Oh, yeah, I can do everything except post up now. So it's happy. You know, we got a talented guard like Randy who could do a lot of things with the basketball and then enable me to show some of my offensive skills. And it's doing great so far.
Randy, great luck, and have a Merry Christmas.
All right, same to you. Merry Christmas. Thanks.
Okay, Mark, I mean, a great game right down to the wire, and LaSalle gets the victory.
Great game in terms of excitement, as Speedy Morris said, but not an artful performance by either team tonight. Some interesting comments also from Speedy Morris saying it was his fault that the team was not performing as well as perhaps he felt it should. Nonetheless, a 71-70 victory. So LaSalle now going to 5-0 overall, 2-0 in the Big Five. Villanova dropping to 6-4. They are 1-1 in the Big Five. And they're now up in the Lifetime Series 22-21, and they have taken the 80s 6-5. Well, that does it for us tonight, not only for tonight, but for the 80s. I would like to thank Randy Simon, our producer, Bob Ayers, our director. Of course, Fred Stefanski and Larry Rosen, who also joins Eddie on these Big Five City Series telecasts. I'm Mark Zumoff, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a happy and healthy New Year. Good night, everyone.
Like most players, he takes the L train. The Ohio State youth movement is in